Stuart, I have a question.
All right. Okay, I think Josh raised his hand first, Bob, so we'll get to you. Yes, Josh.
Stuart, can you talk about self-anger?
This is Jan.
Uh, yeah, I had a lot of it when I was younger, and I know exactly, what it's about, and it's really a way of just, defeating yourself, buying into your own insecurity, buying into you're not good enough in order to deal with other people's tension and problems and things that go on in life. And it's a way of hiding behind the anger. The anger comes out of you, it hurts somebody else, it creates a wall between you and other people. And the only person who really truly suffers is yourself. And by the time the anger is finished, you understand you've depleted everything. You're like empty inside, but not empty in a good way, not empty in which you can receive higher energy, but just drained of your life, your energy, everything in this whole process of trying to be angry and upset at yourself. I mean, we all have to, I say it all the time, look, nobody's perfect. We all have to accept that we're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes in the way we deal with ourselves and whether we deal with other people. And anger does not rectify this, it doesn't fix it. Understand? Anger, all it does is just drain your energy out of you. So if you took that self anger and brought it to the chakra right below the navel, if you just remind yourself that anger is just energy, it's chaotic energy released inside yourself, bring it to the chakra below the navel, that energy, understand, will build an incredibly strong foundation inside you. It'll bring, by developing chi, that power inside, it will bring balance, it'll bring harmony, it'll bring rootedness. And the most important thing it'll teach you how to master your anger. That dumping it on another person doesn't work. Because all you get back is revenge. Taking it deep in yourself, into the chakra below the navel, focusing it, letting it dissolve there. And the power of the anger will build chi inside you. Chi is harmony, balance, inner strength, foundation, rootedness. And anger is an extraordinary way to build that chi. And once that chi gets built, the anger will disappear. You know exactly what to do with it the moment it manifests. And doing that not only is your own self-respect, but other people and life, and you know, because anger really creates a lot of destruction. I mean, look what's going on in the Middle East. It's all revenge and anger. Everybody wants to get everybody. People angry. And that's the result. But in this meditation, we are trained in how to bring our consciousness, our mind, how to focus ourselves, chakra below the navel. That chakra is the real power inside a human being. It's the real strength. And it really is the area of being rooted, of having foundation, and having the power to deal with whatever situations manifest in your life. Things you like, things you don't like, without allowing these things that you like and don't like to drain you of all your energy. And you be master of your anger. And instead of, denigrating yourself, your heart opens and you absolutely live with your own self-worth as a human being. You have something wonderful to offer the world. It's the kindness, the love, the compassion that's in your heart, the caring for other human beings. And the incredible thing, it's almost like a fairy tale, but it works, for God's sake. And I'm not telling you that it works because I read about it somewhere, I'm telling you it works because I have spent a lifetime learning how to master it. And that was the way I learned how to master. I mean, otherwise, there isn't a person in the world who can't piss you off. I really mean that. Nobody's perfect, and everybody brings their own baggage and crap to situations. But anger, you understand, and especially self-anger, it really defeats anything you want to attain in life. And it certainly interferes with any kind of compassion and love you will have for other human beings and for yourself. And it's an either or situation. Either we allow anger to do this or we finally master it. We master it. We learn how to stay centered. We learn how to draw it into the chakra below the navel. We learn how to transform it into harmony, balance, and rootedness and foundation, into real power. But power that is not used to hurt yourself or other people. It's used to grow spiritually. It's used to keep your heart open, to learn how to truly love unconditionally in this world. It's the only real use of power, not all the stuff you read about in the media or who's going to run the country. And I mean, this stuff is just, I tell you, you can get angry when you read about this crap that these politicians talk about. And it's all Maya, it's all illusion, So we can master our anger. And we can approach other human beings with compassion, with love, with understanding, with kindness. Otherwise, it's too easy. I mean, there's so much bullshit in the world. It doesn't take a lot to upset you if you don't have balance inside yourself. And you get upset, and then your whole life just drains out of you. I hope that's clear. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
Why is it essential to attend a in-person retreat? What is it that is the necessity of that?
Well, you were there last time. You should know. I mean, look, those retreats are so powerful that by the end of the weekend, people go through deep transformation. And, even I was teaching a class here on Saturday night, and the classes are very different in person. I don't know why God has given me Zoom, I'd much rather have a situation where I have people coming every night and we have meditation and and do it in person. Much more powerful. I seem to have this is my path right now, my venue. And I'm hoping at some point to be able to develop something else. But anyway, the energy is really, you're doing 3 absolutely intense, powerful classes a day, where it's not only a meditation like this, but it's hands-on healing work, transmission of Shakti that way. And then you have a talk answering questions 3 times a day. I mean, it's got to transform you. It's really powerful stuff. I recommend it. I mean, look, yes, I ask people to pay a little money for this, but God only knows it doesn't make me rich. I mean, you go to what's that guy in San Diego, Chopra, to spend a weekend with him, you'd have to pay $11,000. And this was 15 years ago. God knows what he charges today. So the classes are really powerful. And I always hope and pray that people take the weekend with them. They don't leave it in my apartment. Because the whole purpose of this meditation is deep inner transformation. Stronger the energy. It was like living in Rudy's house, being there, meditating with him every night, extraordinary. It transformed my life. So I try to have weekends like that. I do them every 2 months. I wish I could do them every weekend. Because of the power, the energy, the focus on deep spiritual practice. The whole weekend is focused on that. And I know, yes, people have to fly. It's a little expensive. It's not crazy. I mean, you can fly across the country for a couple $100 today. I mean, if you make the reservation at the right time. So, look, I'm not getting younger here. Take advantage of what I do. I'm not getting younger. I I mean, whoever thought the classes on Zoom would be this strong? Not me. I didn't want to do them at first. I said, no, that's bullshit. I don't want to do that. And then I did one. Holy God, look at this. This works. So it's been 4 years now I've been doing this, I think. Oh my God. If you ever told me that I'd be doing this for 4 years, I would have told you you're crazy. It's been 4 years. I don't know how long. It's been a long time. Yeah, 4 years. And I do it because I feel absolutely a deep responsibility to everyone that attends these classes. I'm getting people who can't make the classes, but totally want to. One person just emailed me today that come spend a month here to study with me, to get training. I mean, I'm open to all of it. I mean, it's just not easy. I mean, years ago when I moved into Rudy's house, I didn't great apartment. I had a railroad flat. I was paying like $40 a month or something like that then. I mean, life was much cheaper then. And I had it all decorated with Oriental art that I bought from Rudy. I had this 17th century Japanese screen that surrounded my bed, with Buddhas and all kinds of stuff, that I had. And it was a very lovely apartment. And I used to enjoy coming home to it. And then one day I said, no, Stuart, Rudy is letting people stay at his house. Ask him if you can go live there. So I went to him one day and I said, Rudy, can I possibly live in your house? And I'll never forget the look on his face. He gave me the smile. And he said, yeah. Then he said, yeah, no problem. You have to come. It's very important that you come live there. And I spent a year literally, first of all, sleeping on the floor, and then with 15 people, 20 people that suddenly started coming to stay in the house, coming home at night, not having a place to sleep. I mean, it's a true story. I would go to where I was sleeping and someone else was sleeping there. I had this kind of fur thing that I used to use as a mattress, and somebody took it and they were using it. So I remember walking on the street with Rudy and I complained to him, Rudy, I don't have a place to sleep. And he pointed, true story, he pointed at some weeds growing up in a crack in a New York City sidewalk. And he said to me, those weeds have more courage than you, Stuart. So he said to me, I said, whoa. And he thought about it, these weeds, traffic, people walking, stepping on them, they're still growing. They want life. I never complained to him again, ever. All right, I don't have a place to sleep, but I can sit every day with my teacher and I can get this amazing training he is giving me. I'll worry about sleep another time. Well, the miracle that happened about 3 weeks later, Rudy came up to me and said, Stuart, every time I leave, I want you to take my apartment. He used to go to India for 3 weeks, traveling to different ashrams in different places. And I said, I want you to stay in my apartment. And I thought, my God, God listens. And there are always answers that come. I hope it's clear what I'm talking about. If you want a spiritual life, you have to do whatever it is. Rudy went 13 years to a teacher who he couldn't stand. And I met this teacher and I spent a weekend in Dallas with this teacher. And I understood why. And I asked Rudy, why do you do this? Why do you have to be tortured by this man? And he said to me, Stuart, he's the only person I've ever met in my life who can break me down. I need somebody strong enough to break me down. And then I'll never forget when he told me, I'm a big Indian, I'm digging a ditch there in Big. He came up to me and he said, I finally broke with Muktananda. He said, I couldn't take it. He said, it was enough. 13 years was enough. He said, but I want to experiment with his techniques. And I'm going to use you as the guinea pig. He told me, I said, Rudy, how deep should I dig here? This hole that I'm digging, And he did for an entire year. He trained me in whoa. And 10 years, 15 years later, I understood why. I needed that training. It saved my life. It saved my life. You go through what you have to go through to have a spiritual life. It can't be done on your own agenda. It doesn't work that way. So I do retreats. I do things. I have classes Saturday. 2 people show up. It's ridiculous, I stopped having the classes. Who needs this? Well, I started again. So what I'm saying, you've got to do what really works to get you to God. And that is not an easy path. It's surrender in such depth. You got to give up where you're sleeping at night, for God's sake. You got to go to teachers who are torturing you because they can break you down. And this is what I learned from Rudy. I never saw anybody do anything like that before. And it became so deeply embedded in my life to understand what is necessary, to spend 15 years of my life teaching this thing. The service to God. As they say in the Jewish religion, if you save one life in your lifetime, the gates of heaven open to you. You know, that life has, first of all, it has to be one's own. You can't go up to the gates of heaven with self-anger. You got to go with love, with joy, with gratitude, with the highest levels of what it means to be a human being. You got to get broken down. Anyway, I didn't plan on talking about this, but Bob's question, well, good subject to talk about. And doesn't mean, I mean, there was fun with Rudy. There was joy with him. There was love with him. I mean, we went to every Chinese restaurant in Chinatown, for God's sake. You know, I mean, he was a kick. You know, I mean, it was extraordinary at the same time. Whoa.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. I mean, you never know how you get signs from God, you know. I mean, I went and got a COVID vaccination today. And I was wondering, should I do this? Should I not do it? I picked up in the media, I read an article about this guy I grew up with, Al Pacino. You know, we were very good friends when I was a kid. And he's talking about he almost died from COVID. You know, there was an article in the pen. I had to go for a COVID injection. I said, Stuart, God is talking to you. Pacino is the voice of God there telling you, go get that vaccination. Stop the conspiracy theories and all the bullshit, go do it and protect yourself. I mean, I couldn't believe that. I was talking about he died and they brought him back to life again.
Oh
From
God.
COVID. He said, go get the, I was thinking, should I do it? Should I not do it? Well, who needs them up? Go get it. God's talking to you. You never know how the universe works, Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you. Again, God bless you all. Thank you for your question. And you too, Josh. I mean, it brings so much stuff out of me. I listen. I need to learn from this stuff also. You know, I'm not perfect. I have a lot of work to do on myself to continue to grow. And these classes, this, you know, the retreats, everything I try to do, it has a singular purpose. I need to grow. I need to grow spiritually. You know, I haven't arrived yet. Okay, so God bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be a class on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Thanks, Stuart. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.